Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a major breaking news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And overnight, we had confirmation that Conor Gallagher has agreed to join Atletico Madrid. Fabrizio Romano breaking the news in the early hours of the morning. Gallagher has verbally agreed terms and said yes to join Atletico Madrid. Here we go to follow today, after formal steps, 5-year deal agreed. It's going to be €40 million fee to Chelsea, around £33.7 million going to fly to Spain to complete the formalities of the deal today. And then Conor Gallagher will leave Chelsea, having been there since the age of 8 years old. Kind of expected this to happen, to be perfectly honest. It's not really a surprise. Put in an impossible position by the football club. Essentially, even if he wanted to stay and fight for his place, he would have just been signed on a 3-year contract to basically just preserve his value and probably be sold 12 months later down the line anyway. If he stayed to try and run his contract down, then he would have been frozen out. And, you don't want to waste, with the World Cup 2 years away, you don't want to waste a year of your career just maybe to try and prove a point. Sky Sports reporting that Gallagher reportedly made his decision to join Atletico 1 minute before the deadline imposed by the Spanish club. Now, I don't know how true that is, whether they just kind of hype these things up so it makes a bit more of a better story, sort of one of them will he, won't he sort of things. But yeah, I think, what I want to say is that obviously, of course, life will continue without Conor Gallagher at Chelsea. Chelsea will, of course, be fine. It's not about the quality of the player. It's about so many other different things. This is a Chelsea fan who came through Cobham, got to captain his club. And look, football can be unbelievably ruthless. Life at the top level in any profession, particularly top level sport, is ruthless, as has been the case with this situation. But I just think there's too many things that Chelsea aren't rating highly enough. Longevity and other intangibles. The club under this ownership just seem to totally overlook those things. I mean, at this point, I wish Conor Gallagher all the best. But, of course, there's going to be people that don't rate him. Of course, there's going to be questions. There's going to be people who question how he'd fit into the Maresca system. And I understand that. But haven't we been a bit hasty here? He didn't even get a chance to fit in. He's been sold because of pure profit. He's literally been sold because he's from the academy. And a new manager coming in, a new style of play is a convenient cop-out, in my view, for this ownership to try and justify selling him. And have we not learned that mass change all at once isn't really a good idea? How's that worked out for us so far? And I haven't got an issue of selling players. But if we end up using this money, which is not an awful lot of money, considering we were, wanting 50 million quid, we accepted higher offer from Aston Villa. Chelsea obviously wanted to sell outside of the Premier League, ideally. So it goes to show that maybe they do realise that Gallagher, they don't want to be embarrassed by selling him to another Premier League team and he ends up doing well. But if we use this money to buy another goalkeeper, a centre-back or a wonder kid that probably will never play for Chelsea, then hear me right now, guys. I will be very, very annoyed about the situation. Use the money to reinvest in the first team and make the first team better. Because right now, everything you've done in this transfer window, you've added some depth to the squad. None of the signings have made the first team any better. And if we're going to be selling players, I want to see that money reinvested into the first team and making the first team better. Because quite frankly, all we seem to be looking at is the future and completely neglecting the present, which there is no future without the present. So, we need to improve that first team, stop signing 16-year-olds, get some actual quality into the football club, and let's get ourselves into the fucking Champions League. Gallagher's 5-year deal, Matt Law reporting that, he's going to join on a 5-year deal until 2029. And he could earn as much as 200 grand a week once bonuses are taken into consideration. I mean, that does seem like an extortion amount of money, but if you can get it, fair enough. I think it's nice to see Gallagher being valued by someone, a top manager in Diego Simeone. I think this is a great move for him, by the way. La Liga, Champions League football. And he obviously spoke to Kieran Trippier as well at the Euros about life in Spain, because he's obviously been there. But do you know what? I find mad, right? Is that isn't it ironic how Chelsea are deeming players not good enough for them, yet we're selling players that we don't think are good enough. We are selling them to Champions League clubs, all whilst we can't even qualify for the competition. Martin deemed not good enough, gone to Aston Villa. Christensen was deemed not good enough, gone to Barcelona. Lewis Hall was deemed not good enough, went to Newcastle, who were playing in the Champions League at the time. Loftus-Cheek deemed not good enough, goes to the Champions League and plays for AC Milan. And I'm suddenly thinking, how are we in a position to deem players not good enough, yet we're going to go and watch these guys play in the Champions League whilst we're watching on the TV because we can't get our shit together and we can't even qualify for the Champions League. But players that we think aren't good enough are being snapped up by clubs within the Champions League. Can only be Chelsea. It literally doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But look, it is what it is. This is what Chelsea are doing right now. This is what they think is best for the football club. And if they think it's the right decision to go down this route, then fair enough. But Chelsea don't value other things high enough. As I said, we only look now under this ownership, and I know clubs sell academy players all the time and whatnot, and I get that. And this is not just the Chelsea thing. I fully appreciate that before anybody comes at me and says, oh, yeah, but other clubs do this as well. Yeah, I'm aware other clubs do this. I understand the role of the academy is twofold, but at the end of the day, Conor Gallagher, in my opinion, wouldn't be being sold if we hadn't spent so recklessly and put ourselves in a difficult financial situation. I think we're all fully aware of that. Yes, we offered him a new 2-year contract, the option of a further 12 months on a number of occasions. But you're not going to sign that when you know you're not wanted at the football club. And the fact that Diego Simeone, sees Gallagher as a key part of what he's looking to do at Atletico Madrid next season and going forward, and he's going to fit perfectly into that system and that style of play. And good luck to him, But once Gallagher obviously completes that move, he's going to be the 5th first-team academy graduate that's been sold under the new ownership. And it looks like Trevor Chalobah could well be following him out of the door as well. So that's Mount, Loftus-Cheek, Martson, Hall, etc., all gone. And there's now, obviously Reece James and Levi have signed long-term contracts. Hopefully, the club sees sense and those guys stick around. But yeah, ultimately, look, disappointment that it's had to come to this with Gallagher. It's a shame, really. It always doesn't sit well when it's kind of one of your own. Of course, you have more of an affiliation to players that have come through the ranks and given their all for the club. And it's just a shame that it's obviously had to end in the way it is going to be ending. But you know what? It's getting a great move. But I think there's an element of arrogance from the club to suggest that they're too good for Gallagher. A homegrown international. He lived his dream. He exceeded it. He captained the team. Fair play to him. And you know what? I hope he does really well at Atletico Madrid. I really do. He's someone that you never really quite account for in the team, but he always forces his way through into a lineup anyway. He is a good footballer. People disrespect him far too much. So yeah, look, ultimately, he's played just shy of 100 games for Chelsea, and he's got a move to Atletico Madrid. So fair play to him. Fair play to him on that one. I just feel it's a shame. I wish him all the best. I think he'll absolutely smash it out at Atletico Madrid. But and he also rejected offers from 2 other Premier League clubs in order to go and sign for Atletico. I'm not going to be celebrating him leaving like others do. Due to the way that we've treated him. But ultimately, it probably is the right choice to sell him. They believe he doesn't fit the system. There's a lot of options in midfield. I think he deserved a chance to maybe prove himself. But yeah, that is where we are at with Chelsea and Conor Gallagher. He has agreed to join Atletico Madrid, and he will be ending his time at Chelsea Football Club. So, guys, that's just my thoughts on the Conor Gallagher thing. I think we knew it was coming anyway. Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.